We almost have it. We almost have it.
Objectively, the best Call of Duty zombie. It's not the Rant.
Oh my god! Don't stop.
Pure hate has come out of my mouth while I've played this map.
Man, we're about to get fucking Dr. Monty again.
In the
terms of things.
episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to Round-Based Radio. Today we're on round 11. We're going to have a couple of weird topics today, just kind of bouncing back and forth, trying to get a feel for how everybody's doing right now in the zombies community and how everybody's going to be playing in the future.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Welcome, 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 welcome.
Wonderful intro, Mr. Drew.
Yep. Welcome. We're switching it up. Bait and switch
Forgot
there.
her name for a second.
Bait and switch right there for those who's watching due to the intro. But for real, welcome in everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. As you guys know, like Drew said, this is Round Based Radio, and we are talking all things the community today. Obviously, we won't get through everything, but we will get through majority of things. And I want to start this episode out, this round 11 out, by asking you guys a question real quick. And that question is, and you just open forum, anybody can answer whenever. What is your favorite thing that the community brought to the game?
Am I supposed to answer this?
Actually, guys, are we dumb? I think we're very dumb. You know what we forgot to do this week?
Why are
Not-
we?
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
so used to-
community
I'm so used to. I'm
questions.
so used to doing the intro
Oh,
that before we get going. Hold on.
I haven't even read any of those.
God,
I've been
that's
working on doing stupid shit.
That's what I'm here for. Bear with us. This is what happens when we change up the rhythm. Let me make sure we go back.
Format's out of whack.
Let's see. I know they got one. Here we go. All right, are you guys ready? Because I knew he had one. We're gonna run off with Damon real quick. He comes in with a question, and he said, "What part of the map either scared you or gave you chills?" For me, the banging coming from the dressing room on Kino gives me every time. Not much of the sound itself, but the implications behind it. Is it a zombie or is it a survivor? If it's a survivor, how long have they been there? Are they about to starve? Are they about to lose air and hanging out of dispersed? I can't read that. I just can't read in general, people. But yeah, what map pretty much left you scared and gave you chills? Or a part of the map, obviously.
First one I could think of are Nova Crawler canisters on the stage of Kino. Seeing them, I always thought they were going to pop out when I was really little. First time I played,
Mm-hmm.
and made it that far to be specific. But yeah, I always thought those motherfuckers were going to hop out at some point.
Yeah, mine's very basic. Mine's Verruct, like whenever you go interact with the chair.
That is.
I hate the sound of a dentist drill. Anyway, I
Yes.
used to have a lot of work done on my teeth when I was younger. I hate that fucking sound.
There you go. That's a good one.
What the hell was
Mhm.
yours?
That's a good question. I mean, probably the same as Damon's. Honestly, like the door. Like even to this day, like if I walk past that door and it's like quiet in Kino, and I hear that that thud. I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? It's just one of those like little eerie things. That not every map has something like that, but like that is a little terrifying. You know what I mean? And I think zombies as a mode when you're young was a little terrifying. You know what I mean? I think definitely could be a little iffy. You know what I mean? Especially since you're so young, you never played a game mode like that before. But yeah, I'd have to say the same name as Damon Carver. So thank you, Damon. We hope we answered your question to the best of our ability. Sorry, we almost forgot about those. I'm completely shocked. That's what happens when we change up everything. But I wanted to keep things different. And with that being said, we got our last question coming in from Shimmer Code 3908, another good friend of Damon's and ours. He asks,
a new one.
Yes, exactly. He says, or he asks, we have quite a wide arsenal of weapons to kill zombies, but with little what? Am I reading that right? But with little usual gets said about the equipment we rely on in each of our rest of time. So I ask, what's your favorite piece of equipment to use out of the whole series? Lethals, tactical, special weapons, etc. I just had like a stroke reading that. I don't know if that's just me. Bear with me. I woke up from like a 2-hour nap. So yeah, he pretty much asked like, what's your favorite piece of equipment? You know, shields, tacticals, special weapons, etc. I mean, yeah, I think you could say shields as well. Anything buildable. Um, so yeah, Dalton, Drew went first.
Um, if I gotta be honest with you, probably gonna be like probably a shield. Um, Especially whenever they started to make it like the rocket shield or like the go rod shield. Um, and then they had the go rod shield and rev. Um, probably dragon shield. Honestly, I think that shit is sick. Protects you from fire if you pull it out. Um, it has the blast. But then specialist, it'd probably have to be the Ragnaroks. I think they're so sick.
Okay.
All right, all right, all right. Drew.
I'm having a tough time deciding between two of them. So I love the trample steam just for the theatrics of it. It's
Mhm.
like a Looney Tunes weapon. It deals infinite damage and it just sends everything. You, the zombies. It's hilarious. But the Matryoshka dolls are just like some iconic shit I think about every once in a
Yeah,
while, and I love the concept of just like smaller explosives stuffed into each one.
that's
One of
funny.
those two.
That's funny because I was thinking about saying the same thing, but I wanted to like say something different. That's a good one. That's a good one. So okay. So you're sticking with that, yeah?
Yeah, one of those two's holding me in.
Okay, okay. Let's see. Try to run through all of them. I mean, because monkey bombs are like they're all right. They're just kind of they're cool, but you know, you get them in mystery box, like yeah, okay, cool, I can use this. You know, I would have to say it's either gonna be like the little Arnie's because I love the upgrade quests you do for them, where you know you can get him to start like dancing. You know what I mean? He comes out of the
Oh
Oh,
bars
yeah,
my
and
you're
dances.
baby,
talking
I
Yeah,
love
about
my honey.
and the burlesque.
the shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, I love that. It's that or the QEDs because they're so fucky. They're just one of those like goofy like pieces of equipment that like you can either fuck with your buddies, you can get fucked over, or you might just get very lucky. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. I'm the kind of like the right there with Drew. It's like out of those two, you know, for me, like those two for me. It's either the QEDs or the little Arnie's. So, but yeah, okay. All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Shimmer, for that. Those are the only two questions we have this week, folks. With that being said, if you guys have any questions you want to ask us in the comments, we'll be sure to answer them at the beginning of every podcast episode. And we will shout you out like always. So with that being said, that will conclude our questions of the week. Shout out to those two once again, Damon and Shimmer. We can always rely on you guys. All right, so right back to where we were because I forgot, but that's okay. Right back to where we were. I asked you guys, what's your favorite thing that the community brought to the game? And I guess we can dive right into that.
Well, you lead us off, Draven. Shit, you're the only
Fair
one
enough.
left.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Wait, you guys didn't answer that question though, right?
Not yet, but you lead us
Okay.
off. We
Okay.
both started one.
Yeah, I was making sure. For the community, I liked. I think custom apps. I know that. I don't know if you can consider that what the community brought, but it's what they bring all the time. You know, whether it's World at War, Black Ops 3, you know, it's endless content for you to play if you have access to those things. And some people just have just really great creations and they have such a creative mind where they can make some really cool maps, some really, really goofy ones and hard ones, and it's like it's the gift that keeps giving. You know, I can always load up the Steam Workshop and see a new map come out. You know, and it's always a blast to play those. I think that's one thing that I'm glad Treyarch gave the community access to, and I'm glad that's something that the community keeps like doing. Like it keeps that game alive. You know, surprisingly. I mean, obviously if you're on PC, um, but it's just so much fun. It's so so good. I know they probably made a mistake by doing that because tons of people still play Black Ops 3 because of that. You know what I mean? But oh, I mean, as an Activision probably doesn't like that, but um, I would say that would be mine. I think it's just like I said, the gift that keeps giving.
Okay. Okay. Um, I would say, I mean, like as a whole, I would say just like challenges in general, like the one box challenge, the Rainbow Perk Challenge. But honestly, like I don't participate because I'm not that good. But the one thing I really like and I find myself watching all the time is speed runs and seeing how efficient somebody can be. So I would say like speed running to zombies, speed running Easter egg quests, speed running high rounds, whatever it may be.
Go on.
Mm. Well, I thought I had two good answers, and then both y'all snatched them back to back. So,
Oh, did you really? No, you can use
yeah,
that. You can use that.
nah, we'll keep it original.
Huh?
Well, I like the progression of strategy, the zombies community. Like the more people that came in, the more they started like diving into shit. It started out with like hoarding them up in one area and killing everything, but you weren't running trains. You were like hiding in an area and like funneling them through one area, trying to get a choke point somewhere you could kind of like protect your back end. Then they figured out like traps in Black Ops One for the most part, a little bit in Shino. Um, just the overall progression and how everybody kind of figured out this is the best thing to use, this is how you would use it, and this is your way that you would get to that point. Go through this area first, grab these perks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just the how everybody can help each other figure out the best way to survive.
Yeah, I like that. It's very tight knit. I mean, like our community is definitely an interesting one to say the least. We definitely got spoiled at some points in time, and a lot of us are loving the new era. Some of us hate it and prefer the old. Some of us are kind of mixed. It's very much like all not all over the place, but it definitely has a variety. But back then, like yeah, it felt very tight knit. Like it still kind of does. It is cool to see like what people can create and post on the internet and like check out this brand new thing, and everyone's doing this brand new thing, and then especially like when it came to finding lore and stuff like that, like it really felt like the community was together playing the game at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we found this brand new radio on such and such. You know what I mean? And then everyone's going to check it out. It's like, oh no way! Found this brand new side Easter egg that's been discovered 5 years later. It's so cool. I love it a lot. So I agree. I think those are all good picks. Um, so with that being said, like I said, we want to talk about the community this week, and kind of focus upon that. And one thing I want to talk about and get your guys' opinion on is I know a couple of us have brought them up. Wait, have we? Dalton said, no, not really. I guess not. Um, I guess one thing that none of us brought up, but I think is a big one is how we kind of made our own challenges and we made our own like mini games and game modes essentially um throughout those years. And obviously as we saw in Black Ops 6 and stuff like that, they kind of brought that to life with like the starting room challenge, even though it's a little different than what it was originally when we all would play it, or if the three of us ever did attempt it. Having just what's available in the spawn room, them bringing that into Black Ops 6 was really cool, especially with like one like Terminus. I know me and Drew did Terminus together, and that felt like a really good like starting room challenge because it was very bare. Like you had nothing, like you were working with nothing besides a gobblegum machine, if I'm correct, Drew. And a trap.
Hmm.
But I like that a lot, And what are some that you guys enjoy? Maybe some that you guys find yourself doing without even thinking maybe sometimes, or, ones that you just, remember, like old school ones that, like, maybe people might not have remembered to this day, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'll
Oof.
let Drew start off with this one.
There's a couple of the older ones, um, but I really loved They were kind of bare bones back when it was mainly you only had the World at War mod tools. But that's when I used to watch YouTube the most for custom maps. They made tower maps back in the day,
Mm.
and it was pretty much just a non-stop up for like 20, 70, 80 levels, however long they felt like stretching that shit for. And like there'd be a couple of perks sprinkled in there. So like if you made it to like level 5, you could finally get quick revive. 10 would be like jug or something weird like that. I always love those. Watching like a non-stop horde coming at you pretty much for it felt like 3 hours, but it might have been like 40 minutes till you made it to the very top. I always love that shit. It looked cool.
I was like, when you said that, I thought of cheese cube. That's the first thing that comes to my
Yep,
mind is
I
cheese
Cheese
was
cube.
cube,
about to
yes,
say.
sir.
Me and Dalton beat it as of recently on live, I think.
Barely.
And before that, we were like recording it, like trying to get like, a video out of it. And it, needless to say, yeah, that was tough. That was a battle,
It's a challenge, bro.
And I love that too. I love seeing like those older content creators that did custom maps in World of War, like You Always Win and all them. I did like NGT. I loved watching that.
In GT every time.
Oh my god, yeah. All right, well, Dalton, is there one that you
Um,
like?
custom map.
Well, not really just custom map, but like, game modes that the community brought in, like the Rainbow Perk Challenge, Starting
Oh,
Room challenges, maybe there's a game mode in a custom game that you play that you want to bring to light that maybe people would like to see or, you know.
yeah. Um, I would have to say either like it's hard. Like you get a level of respect when you complete like I would say two different challenges for me, like the one box challenge because I that's such a just a I want to say it's a good idea, but it's not like a great idea if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean you could get if we're talking like BO3, you could get the XM53.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. If you beat any Easter egg with the XM53, that's impressive. And also, I would say in older games, especially not as much in the newer games, um, like if people would do Easter eggs with no jug or no perks, like a no perk challenge,
Mhm.
that's pretty impressive too. I would say like with game modes that I really like, adding more skill, not adding more skill to the game, but having you be more skillful at the game and be able to show it off.
Okay. That's a good one. I like that.
That's solid shit.
Yeah, it is. Well, I would say like for for me, like ones that stick in my brain a lot. I can see like younger me YouTubing this. You know what I mean? Back in Kino, one for sure. I loved the Pack a Punch challenge. I don't know if that's the official name of it, but I was called the Pack a Punch challenge, where you loaded into a map and your goal was to pack a punch every single gun in one game.
Mm.
It's a lot harder than you think. you know, it sucks
Yeah.
because you have to keep track of everything. If you don't like a notepad and pencil, or if you just have good memory, like it's gonna like, you're gonna forget, like, "Oh, wait, did I get this gun earlier? Back a punch it? I don't remember."
Hmm.
Especially on, like, BO1 Kino, it's a little tough. Maybe even, like, Water War Derice, and stuff like that. I like that one a lot. I know they have that in some custom games, actually, if I'm correct. I think I've definitely played a custom game where they've had that as, like, a game mode. Um Oh, no, it's actually just a separate mod, my bad. It's like a separate mod you can throw into any map, and they'll give you, like, a checklist of what guns you've packed a punch and what guns you haven't, so I think that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Um, just something like that where, like, it turned out like, it started wherever, you know what I mean, and it kinda just evolved, and someone made it in a mod tool in Black Ops 3, I think is just, like that's just one of the things that's really cool. And then I would also say the one that was, like, the most popular, like, back in the day, like BO2 definitely era was the Rainbow Perk Challenge, and I think that is one of the coolest challenges, like game modes, like ever invented. Thought of like when people found out you can get these extra perk slots by finding the red dig sites, and then thinking to themselves like, wait a minute, what if you had to get every perk in a specific order? Because if you're playing solo, quick revives come in last. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those last ones you got to get. And especially in BO2 Origins, it's a lot harder than like BO3 Origins and stuff like that. And plus, it incentivizes you to get more perks in the map. think this is something that was really cool, and I think if I'm correct, don't or correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Smith Plays who came up with that. Um, and I thought that was really cool. I like that a lot. I think that's stuff like that I missed. I wish we were able to find more stuff like that today to do little stuff like that. Plus, it kind of makes that map. It gives you something to do in the map. You know what I mean? When the dust settles and the Easter egg's done, and you did everything in the map, you can go back and try and do that. I feel like that adds a lot to the. And you can do that with every. I mean, you can do that with Starter Room Challenge. You can do that with Pack Punch Challenge. Box Challenge. But like that was like map specific. That I think was really cool. That I wish we could see more of. But I know that's all situational essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh, awesome. The Smith plays either made the rainbow or the reverse rainbow challenge. I think
I think he
one of
did
those two was
both.
definitely him.
I think he definitely did both. Because that
I haven't heard
again,
that
that's
name in
another
forever.
thing is the reverse one. The reverse one means you're getting jug last. That was a crazy one.
No
Or
jug,
even
double tap.
yeah. The only way you can get double tap in that map, I think, is through the challenge or maybe the Wonders Fizz
Wonder
machine.
Fizz, I think.
Okay. That's another thing is like you gotta spin. If you don't get the right perk, or if you grab one on accident, you're fucked. You gotta restart.
Mm-hmm.
So um is there anything else you guys want to kind of add to that, or are there other ones we didn't talk about that you kind of want to bring to light at all?
It depends on what's considered a challenge, but high rounds. I love
Yeah.
seeing high rounds, like the strategy, especially how it eventually turned into a speed run technically, where you're racing against the reset on any given map or system. Because at some point your system just gives out and it resets to round one. Something about like an overflow of files or some shit. Um,
Are you talking about World of War?
it does it on a lot of them up to like BO3. Because
Mm.
you'll get to like 76 hours or something, and then your game will be like, yeah, dude, you've done a lot of shit here and a lot of things overflowing. We're gonna reset everything. You hit like almost like a negative integer, so your shit resets to one and puts you back at round one. That's why you have like a round limit on most maps up until BO6, I guess. Technically in World at War, like Shino and shit, you can get pretty high. You get like the Wonderwolf and Shino, and it's only like 24 zombies around. You get to like a couple thousand in between that and knocked.
Couple thousand is crazy.
It is, but that's when you hit the reset timer still. So then
Yeah.
you run out of time. Um, but it does it on every map. Like BO3 or BO2 is the best one they have. Like buried, you can get to the highest round, and then there's a max cap. I can't remember what round it is. 200 something, maybe 300 something. Um, but it won't progress past that round, no matter how many you kill, and then you'll inevitably reset to one still. But yeah, high rounds.
Hell yeah. You're a big high, or you're not a big high. No, you are a big high round guy, Drew, right? That's your thing.
Yeah, just strategy. I like to see what people be thinking of.
Okay, well, before Dalton kind of, I don't know what if Dalton has anything, but before that, what's is there a strategy that sticks out to you the most? That's like that you like the most that you can see that you see yourself doing all the time. But
Oh,
depending on any mat,
Ke-
like anything.
Kino Alleyway. That's the best early round setup. I can't remember until how long, but it's BO1. I don't know if they do it in BO3 when they did a remake. They did remake a BO2, right? Or no?
No, not
No,
not
yeah.
Kino, no.
BO3 did the first Chronicles.
Yeah. It was supposed to
Um,
be, fun fact, it was actually supposed to be Black Ops. If you guys don't know about that, go look that up. That's a real thing. People found game files of all the original maps where they were going to make a Chronicles in Black Ops 2 first, but go on.
uh, it's about like how many zombie spawns there are and where they're located. There's only three, or I think it's three spawns that go off if you stay at like the furthest part of the alleyway without opening the door behind you. And doing that, and you run like the smallest of fucking circles. You just get through like up until round 100 pretty much, especially if you have the thunder gun. You just run a tight circle, they'll all funnel up in front of you. You get a full horde fast as hell. Turn real quick and pop the whole horde. Then start circling them bitches back up. I really like it. It's really fun. It's challenging as hell. You fuck up one time and you're down. Now you're gonna have to fight your way out of the alleyway with nothing. I like it.
Oh yeah. All right. Dalton, is there any other ones you kind of want to bring to light that you like? Anything that community kind of brought and stuff like that?
Um, I mean, no, I don't really go for high rounds. The one that's like iconic to me, like when I think of high rounds, I think of Knocked sitting in the corner above the staircase
Hmm.
where you can buy the grenades.
Yeah.
Um, but the only like high round that I've done in like a game that matters rather than like BO6 was Der Eisendrock, and it was before the lightning bow got nerfed, and you just sat where Quick Revive's at in that room. Don't buy the door to the left, and you could use like alchemical with a gun, but you could also just use the bow, and that would take you pretty far as long as you're willing to go. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say overall, I would have maybe knocked being the that one that one staircase or flamethrower unlocked.
But you're talking high rounds though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I meant like because I asked you guys before that was like, is there another game mode or anything cool like to kind of like obviously all that stuff is just to increase replayability. Is there anything else out there that you like that maybe not people might know about or you know that you might always find yourself coming back to? You know what I mean? Like if it's the one box challenge, maybe there's something else that you can think of. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I got nothing. I'm pretty bland when it comes to it. I'm either doing an Easter egg or just like playing the map, grinding.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, let me know. Let us know down below if there are any other game modes that you guys liked and that challenges that the community's made up over the years that you think could deserve some light. Um. All right. Next up, I want to say, or I want to talk about. I know we kind of already started talking about it a little bit, but was custom maps and um, how you guys feel about custom maps and maybe some of your favorite ones. I know Drew's played a little bit with me, thanks to like I had like my laptop still, so he would like load up some games with me sometimes on BO3, and we got to play together or split screen. I forgot. I mean, you even did split screen custom games before, right?
Hmm.
That's crazy. Um, but is there now? I don't expect Drew to think of one, like to know one off the top of his head. But if you do, that'd be awesome. Is there a custom app that left such an impression on you? Or even if it's like, like when you watch a YouTuber play it, you know what I mean? Is there a custom app that you saw that was like, wow, that is sick, and that guy needs a job at like Treyarch like now?
Um,
World at War Tim Hortons.
Is that actually a thing?
Hell yeah, I watched NGT Zombies play it. The first time I saw
Yeah.
it, I was like, how the fuck do you make that out of all the textures you get in World at War?
That's great. Hell yeah, dude. What like what's something from that map? Like was it just like the overall
They made
the
a
design
fucking
of
Tim
it?
Hortons, bro. Yeah, like they made a parking lot and did the sign out front, made the whole establishment with the seating and shit, made it a little decrepit. Obviously, it's a zombie apocalypse. I just thought it was crazy that you could. It was one of the first maps I'd ever saw. It was before I saw like the earlier builds of boss zombies and shit that people were making.
Mhm.
Um, it was really like it was just crazy to me that people had that kind of imagination and ability to manipulate that engine, or however you want to put it.
Especially back in the older days, like in World at War, where they were very limited to what they had. Like nowadays, you have access to so many assets from so many different COD games, even other games like Fallout 4 and stuff like that. It truly is so fucking cool to see like what the community could just cook up with whatever they have. You know what I mean? I think it's really fucking cool. Don, what about you?
um, I played a couple World at War maps, but none like I'm not the like not because it's a bad game, just because it's starting to get somewhat outdated now. Like I remember we were streaming the other day, and somebody was like, "World at War is like gritty, like like very like," and it's just because it's an old game, from
Mhm.
2008. Um, but the BO3 map that stuck out to me, I would say the most, where I was like, "Damn, like this is good." Besides like a remake or something, um, would have to be Vevictus.
God, dude, that is such
Yeah,
a fucking
it
custom
was.
map.
I was gonna say I was very impressed with that map. I think they did a really good job. Granted, I wouldn't even say it's rough around the edges, but it could definitely use some polishing. But like from what we are given and kind of what you have to work with, um, I think it was really, really good because BO3 I think does a really good job of capturing atmosphere. I think all of the regular DLCs did it. I think all the Zombie Chronicles maps look great. So I feel like in some of the games past BO3 minus IW, because I'm a Glaze IW,
Mm.
um, it's lacked atmosphere. World War II was good, so I can't say that because I think the atmosphere on that was good. But it's like I look at skyboxes now and I'm just like, dang, this is not that cool, especially for what we have now. But even something like Vevictus, where it may be recycled, like why can't we have I'm not begging for like specifically skyboxes to say, but like why can't we just get a little bit extra, bruh? Just a little bit extra care. It seems like everything is just so rushed now, and I just wish there was a little more shit in it because I mean I know damn well zombies gets more traction than Warzone, yet Warzone is getting all this fucking money dumped into it. So
I mean, you can run a comp off of Warzone. You can't really make money off of comp and zombie. Like,
Yeah. I
there's
was
no
gonna
sell
say
value to ads and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you
I was
won't
gonna
make as
say
much overall.
also that it's free to play. Like, you don't have to buy the game. You
That's
can
true.
download it for free, but then again,
I forget about that.
like Drew said, I feel like there's just so much more to do with Warzone, unfortunately, that, like, zombies is so, like, specific to a certain extent, you know what I mean? But I do agree with you, though. I feel like at some point in time, like, I feel like there are more zombie players. Like, again, you have people that play the game because they like the game and they're willing to pay for the game. You have people who download it for free because they don't want to buy the other game and they play because it's free. You know what I mean? There's a big difference between free to play games and games that are paid. You know what I mean? Does that mean I think the value drops in zombies? No. I think zombies is very important. It's obviously been a very important staple, even though I feel like they need to take a break. I think a break is very much needed. As much as I would hate to not see zombies for a year, I think thinking they need a break from it and try something different, like Extinction or you know, um, whatever else they can think of. You know what I
If
mean?
you
But
suggest exo zombies, I'm gonna stomp you.
I would never.
well, no, but like yeah, I think it would be a good decision for like give them time to start cooking.
Mhm.
Like really focus on maps because I mean the one thing there was a topic I wanted to talk about, and I guess we ain't like transitioned into it yet, but I feel like the community as a whole needs to not be so quick to judge a game. Like we're still month two out from BO7, and it's like the second most disliked shit in
Mhm.
COD. It's like we're not even giving it a chance because Battlefield, and yes, Battlefield looks good. How many? There's been at least fucking the last four Battlefields I haven't fucking played. All of them look sick, but I haven't fucking played Battlefield. Nobody really plays Battlefield like that anymore. It was like you were either Battlefield or COD, and then I feel like COD just started smoking them, and then now that Battlefield's trying to make a comeback, just
Well,
but
yeah,
Well,
because they.
it's go ahead.
I was gonna
I mean
say.
it's just stupid.
I was gonna say it's because like with Battlefield 6, they are really diving back into the roots, kind of like what we did. Not what we, but what Call of Duty did with Modern Warfare 2019. That's pretty much what Battlefield 6 is like. They're giving you that same feeling of COD, trying to make a comeback, like Dalton said, and they're also coming out publicly and kind of taking shots at Treyarch, not Treyarch, but I mean Activision as a whole, saying like, well, if we do have, bundles, they're going to be centric around the theme of the game and in that game's era, and people are like, oh, this is what we want in COD. So like, that's what we've been asking for fucking years. Well, most people have been asking for years. So when they see that, yeah, and I think a lot of the hate is forced. I think a lot of the hate's forced.
Yeah, so do
Uh,
I.
Well,
And go
you,
ahead.
you get to a point wherever, and a teaser, like you're talking about, it's a lot of it from the trailer, right? Is what you're meaning?
the initial reveal trailer where they showed like 2 minutes, maybe more. I don't remember the
That's what I'm
exact
saying. That's
length.
what you're
Yeah,
referencing, right? Is
yeah.
the
It's all
yeah.
of this. Yeah, yeah. Just the reveal.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, that's what a reveal's about, though, is to get the input of the community. You wouldn't put a reveal out with comments on and shit and put it on YouTube if you didn't want people to give you feedback on that. That's directly from them to us, so we can feed directly back to them what we do and don't like. So if we all say we don't like this, like we don't like the way you're heading with this, because a lot of the clips I see of shit like that, because I don't really watch YouTubers like dive into trailers. I don't give a fuck about them. But like I've seen clips, and it's always whenever you get that big dude. Who'd you say? What
It's
is
it's
Weaver or
it's
some shit?
it's Harper. It's Mason's
Harper.
like partner, but it's just because like the reason why he's big though is because they're in a psychological state.
No, I get that, but like
You see that,
that's
yeah.
when I see most people go like, "Oh, fuck this," and I can understand that because I don't want to see all this like weird shit. Like I get Black Ops One had it with like the numbers and the psychological warfare that was going on with like a secret double agent and shit. Like that was cool, but they didn't do like fucking Batman Scarecrow levels of uh, psychological tripping. You kept it to a decent level where you were just, hey, like you're freaking the fuck out right now, bro, and we need you to calm down. And they built up to it. But whenever you put that in the like trailer, that makes me feel like it's gonna be a big part of it, and I don't want that crazy shit. So whenever you want people that dislike all that crazy shit, of course they're gonna shift to some realistic like Battlefield. It's a good in between. It's not like an insta kill game, but you can see that it's gonna be something you would prefer over being like, hey, do you want to like run off walls and shit and like slide at 30 miles an hour at each other? You know what I mean? Like it's a fair kickback. You put the trailer out and you got your feedback.
And and I got two things for that. And I agree with you on the trailer. Like, don't get me like I don't have a problem with the trailer. I liked it. I like the idea of it. It kind of makes sense with like the whole fear talk. It's not fear toxin, but it's something that it's going to be obviously used in the campaign to invoke fear and throw our characters off. But and they came out publicly and said like this is going to be the most mind bending Black Ops experience ever. So that's like their whole thing. But
Oh,
and that's why I'm like, well, they of course are going to show that. Even though I don't like when they show a lot. I like when we were kind of like wondering like cool, like we see some cool stuff, but like what's really going on.
'Cause-
We kind of
yeah,
know what's
because
going on.
what I was about to say, what I feel like happens now is they share too much. And so
Yes.
you can make shit look so fucking cool and so good and so polished, but like you still have to remember everybody wants a perfect COD. You know what I mean? Like they want that perfect COD.
Like
But
Black Ops 2.
how long did they have to produce Black Ops 2? Was it 2 years?
No. Nah. It was kind of like it was like on a 2 year cycle because they would
they were
like
trading off with Sledgehammer at the time, I think.
no, it was Infinity Ward. So it was like
Yeah,
Black Ops
Or
1
whoever it
came
was.
out. Black Ops 1 came out in 2010 and then
it
MW3
was
came out.
MW. Yep.
3 came out in 2011 and then Black Ops 2 came out in 2012. So you can say a year and a half, 2 years cuz I'm sure, they only left a few people back in Black Ops 1 to work on DLCs and expansions and then
Hmm.
obviously a brute of their force was working on Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Plus, granted
But
though, games back then required a lot. I feel like required a little less than what they require now.
yeah,
I don't.
but I mean, we're getting like I I always try and keep my expectations high, but I feel like with what they show us now and everything, they give us so much where we start making shit up in our head almost, where it's like we think this is going to be the perfect game, and then that's going to get ruined every single time. But I also feel like the community does a real bad job at comparing games as well. Like we've had some great CODs in the past, and we've had some bad CODs in the past. But every COD I think has something wrong with it, or you can point out like something. But nowadays, it's just like I feel like we look too much back on the stuff
Yeah.
on maps or games in general. Sorry, I was just thinking zombies, but we look like we put these older games on like a pedestal that we don't even our minds don't even give a chance for the newer games to touch. Because honestly, for the last, I would say, because like I did enjoy Cold War. It wasn't the best, but I did enjoy it. So I enjoyed Black Ops 6 a lot. So we've gotten to me, we've gotten like one good COD in 5 years.
Which one would that be? This one?
But I think BO6. Yeah, I think BO6 is a good, great COD.
I stepped out for a very long time. I was just making sure. I didn't know if
Yeah,
any of
yeah.
them were like stepping out toward
No,
me.
because I mean, you had
Well,
like the MW run. Vanguard was not good. You know what I mean? So like, I think instead of Activision pumping out these games, having multiple studios do year to 2 year cycles or whatever, I feel like you should have the two studios, but have it on like a basis where like Treyarch will drop a COD, and then that COD is on a 2 to 3 year life cycle.
yes,
But
yes, 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 yes.
on that last year, like you're gonna have pretty much a majority of your content by year and a half. And then everything after that is just updates and improving the game, adding game modes, doing shit like that to keep people engaged.
I
And
I
then it
agree.
because we're pumping out these games so fast where it like I assume the people who work at Treyarch want to put those little details like they were able to in the older games, but like they just genuinely don't have fucking time. So
Mm,
I disagree.
no,
I would
I
say
No, they have more Easter eggs and shit than ever. They have more manpower than they ever have by multitudes. When they initially were doing zombies was like an afterthought, and people had a fucking ball with it. They were making ciphers and shit in World of War. Like they had a great thing going on.
yeah, but
You
that
don't have to
wasn't
have
like
a. Go ahead.
there wasn't the manpower needed back then. Like Fox was
But that
saying,
you don't
it's
need it.
yeah, but you like nowadays you do because of all the other games coming out. Like I fucking I bring this up like every 3 episodes, but like everything is competing with like fucking Fortnite, where it's trying to appeal to as big of an audience as you can, because I'm pretty sure all of us in here have played Fortnite.
I
fortunately.
hate it.
Okay, you hate it now, but it fucking had a chokehold on everybody from fucking 2017 to 2022.
Wrong. Guess what? I stepped out during those years for a reason. I dislike everything they were doing with mainstream games at that time period.
And you can
But
argue and say that that's the reason why these games are the way they are. Where we have streamers, God, we just I don't hey, I don't mind this at all, by the way. But we went off we're on a crazy like side path, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. So like, fuck it.
I mean, it's Call of Duty, brother. Like when it's the core
It
game.
is.
yeah,
I would say
Call of
though
Duty.
that is something that has ruined, in my personal opinion, ruined gaming. Where it gets to a point now where you have streamers and people saying that games need battle passes and they need certain things to be good games. Where back in the day, like if they just had a damn good fucking product, the game was good. It didn't need a battle pass. It didn't need fucking microtransactions. It didn't need all these things to be a good game. The game was good because it played good and they had the passion that I feel like they're missing nowadays. Now, granted, I don't want to throw a lot of hate onto the developers as a whole, like Infinity Ward and Treyarch, but at the end of the day, we all have to look at the bigger picture, and it's Activision, and they're just pushing all this bullshit out because they're trying to make money. Ever since 2018, in my personal opinion, 'cause that's when kind of like you said, Fortnite kind of started taking over. I mean, we see it today with these bullshit crossover skins. That's what they think people want, and obviously, because of like what Drew said back earlier, and I think that's something I also want to touch on was like with the feedback thing. People started hating that shit. They're like, dude, I can't wait to see fucking Beavis and Butthead a month after buying this game And then look, people complained, and now they changed it, which I think is great. And they're not going to do any more, hopefully, goofy crossovers. You can do crossovers if it's like if it fits the tone of the game. Like I think like Rambo was in Cold War. Maybe I could be wrong, but like some of those older action heroes from that time period, that makes sense. I'm fine with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you start to throw in like you're not Fortnite. Like we are Call of
Straight up
Duty.
cartoon characters. They stood out so hard against everything else in the game.
It
I
does.
never
It's a
liked
very
that. I
bad
didn't
idea.
even with Fortnite, I didn't like when they started doing the different graphical skins. Like when you have like an anime skin in COD or in Fortnite, and it's a different like
It's like
graphic.
shell
You know what I
shaded
mean?
almost. Yeah, like how
Yeah,
they do
yeah.
shell shade. Yeah, I think it's
I
dumb.
don't like that. It's like it's getting in this whole fucking multiverse thing, and like God Almighty, I wish nobody would have thought of a fucking multiverse because I
It's
feel like that's
everywhere.
fucking killing it too. Yeah, it's just like you can have a story, it fucking hook, line, sinker. It's a winner, and it's like okay, hey, it's like Spider
Branch it
Man.
off.
Hey, let's make Miles Morales. Or oh, I have a better idea. Let's not make one. Let's not make two. Let's have 3 different Spider-Mans. Hear me out. Hear me out. They're all gonna meet each other. I'm like,
It's
it was a good movie
crazy.
though. I did
It is
enjoy
a
it.
good movie. It is a good movie. It is a good movie. But
I mean, but to cycle back on the whole like team number thing, y'all play custom zombies maps. You can't say that you don't have a great time playing a bunch of custom zombies maps. If they had like another 20 people instead of just 1 to 4 dudes working on that shit,
God, it'd be
they'd bust
phenomenal.
out one of the best things in the world. Instead, you got like 150 dudes working on these fucking maps.
Eh,
And
yeah.
you're going, they need more time. No, they don't need more time. They need better ideas. They need different people.
Yes. They need
If you
people.
have that amount of manpower and man hours on a map that another dude can like out convince you is fun, I don't know how another way to put it. If he can make a map that more people would agree with being good than what you put out in a year cycle, and you let's say they split that up, you have a fourth of a year to make. You have 150 dudes to his one. That's the equivalent of what divide that by 4. That'd be like 50 fucking years almost. It'd be like 30 something, 40 something.
Mhm.
You have plenty of time and man hours to make all your assets and shit because you're borrowing a lot of them from multiplayer. That team is also putting a lot of work in for you. Um, you can make all kind of shit. You could do whatever you want. It's just that the ideas they're having for them are, hey, we're doing real shit on sales this year. Let's remake a bunch of shit people really liked, and then they're doing that really poorly because it's not the same people and it's not the same thought process.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. I think that's like the biggest thing is that they're not like there's not enough like love into the game because at the end of the day they just want to make money. Like Activision wants to make money. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make money by dangling nostalgia over our heads or giving us a really good like in my opinion I think Terminus is a really good map. That's a really good like zombies map and then they kind of dangle that over us and then give us I can't say that. I think the other maps are good actually. But you guys kind of get the concept. Same thing what you were saying is like it's the nostalgia bait that isn't always good. It's sometimes like we want something new, we want something fresh, you know. Black Ops 2 did a good job of that. They kind of gave us a little bit of nostalgia, sort of, to Black Ops 1, but it wasn't the center focus of the game. It was still a game set in 2025, you know?
I mean,
And
I can fully agree with that idea though. That
it did, yeah, it
we do
works.
over appreciate older games.
Yes, we do. And I think at some point we have to let go because gaming as a whole has changed. Where back in the day, I saw this, I don't know who said it, but like I saw this and I was like, yes, that is 100% right. Is back in the day when somebody was sweating in a game, trying to like get kill streaks and trying to be the top of the leaderboard, everybody in that lobby made fun of him or her, whoever it was. They would make fun of that person all the time. And I'm telling you, I remember that, like seeing that in Black Ops 2 or whatever, when somebody was sweating their ass off, everybody picked on that guy, right? That was the funny, that, oh, look at this try hard, look at this sweat. Nowadays, in gaming, no matter what game it is, that is what everybody wants to be. It's no longer about fun. Nobody wants to have fun anymore, in my personal opinion. There are some people out there that do, like me and you guys, I'm pretty sure. But gaming as a whole has turned so sweaty, right? That's the normal now. That's the norm. Everybody wants to try hard in a game every all the time, and nobody's everybody's afraid of going like 4-6 in a search game. When back in the day that'd be like, oh, that was pretty fucking good. Yeah, yeah. It was a fun time, and I think those older games. That's why people want to go back to those older games because that's what was fun. And nowadays, the gaming as a whole has just changed where everybody's super sweaty. You load up a game of Black Ops 6 right now, half the lobby's slide canceling or jumping around, doing all types of crazy shit, sweating their ass off, using mods for all we know, and like back then, dude, like it was just that one guy that was probably sweating his ass off, most likely. Maybe you find a full team of sweats, maybe, but nowadays everybody wants to be the next pro, next streamer, the next YouTuber, I mean, they want to be that. And that's where I think gaming has gone. And it's just gone on a very sweaty, hardcore route, which I don't think is fun. I think it was cool when the
So
community brought the body shield mechanic to Black Ops 6. You
yeah.
saw a lot of people having a good fucking time just fucking around, grabbing people from behind, pause, and just, doing some goofy shit. Like that was like that, like that's fun. Like there's no,
Yeah. And I have not, after the first like month of Black Ops 6, I did not see a single person body shield anybody.
yeah, it was that, it was it. It was like that was it.
But I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
So
Are we getting back
would
on the narrow
you,
path or what?
I mean, kind of, would you rather,
Hmm.
sorry, would you rather COD go back to what we used to have gameplay wise? Like, I'm talking pretty bare bones.
Slower running, TTK slowed down by a
Pick
fuck ton, shit like that.
pick 10 system.
Yes, but like all you get is zombies multiplayer campaign.
Mhm.
It's like it's not like, granted, I know that's pretty much all we get now.
You're just saying get
But
rid of Warzone?
no, but I'm
Yes.
saying like the like you look at BO6 versus BO2. BO2 has like yes, it has content, it has the juicy stuff, but I feel like you can only do so much in BO2. There's
What do you mean by
a
that?
little more there's a little more that you can do in BO6, like with the camos, with stuff like that. Do you think like that stuff matters? And do you think that COD should go back to like how it was in the older days of like not a lot of content in the game, if that makes sense? Like you're gonna have 5 maps, zombies. You're gonna get like DLC. DLC is like you get 3 multiplayer maps plus your 1 zombies map. Like that's what you get. Boom. No battle pass, no DLC, or like no DLC weapons or anything like that.
You got DLC weapons back in the day.
Yeah, but they
I'm-
were
I
scarce.
don't
though.
mean like I was gonna say I don't mean like how we get
Yeah,
them
you got
now,
the
where it's like every
M27,
season.
brother. That shit was wild. Peacekeeper.
That was definitely game changing. Okay, so wait, so like when you ask that, do you mean you want like does that mean the community goes back to that type of gameplay as well,
No,
or is the
because
community still sweaty,
I mean the community's gonna stay like
dude?
we can't change gaming. I feel like we appreciate the older games more because gaming was different, not
Yes.
because the games were as good. Granted, now that we go back and play them, we played them and we remember all the good times we had with them, and I feel like the nostalgia carries.
It
Like the
does.
nostalgia hangs over our head, where it's like, oh, I had such a good time playing this game, but like that's not really how it is now. You know what I
I
mean? So like even if COD reverts back, we get a completely because I hate saying like bare bones because there is content in BO2, but like BO6 to BO2,
there is a
reason
big difference. There's a
there's
big
a reason BO2 is fucking 14 gigabytes.
and I will well that's because the only reason why the game's less gigabytes is
Graphics and stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
it requires a lot less than what we have now. Granted, that doesn't mean Black Ops 6 needs to be 200 fucking gigabytes. Fix your shit, by the way, please. That's aggravating. I don't want taking up half my fucking drive. But with that, I want to say yes. because I feel like I hate to say freedom. I hate to say that. Like I hate to say they give the players too much freedom. But back in the day, you're not getting 8, 10 attachments on your weapon. I get it, oh, you can make whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I kind of liked when it was restricted. It added a little bit of challenge to it. It made you think about what you were going to do. So that's why one thing I would love to have the Pick 10 system back. That's one thing I do think. That's why I do say, yes, revert back to the old days or an older style. Because, I mean, honestly, if you got a bomber campaign, if you got a good multiplayer that's replayable and you just don't give people access to everything, it makes people think, you know what I mean? To where, because like, let me finish. And a good zombies experience, I think you have a good game, right? Now, another thing with multiplayer, though, I feel like there is no, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think with the access of having every attachment possible, there is no real play style. Like, there is no guaranteed, like, there's no specific play style. And I know Drew can probably help me out on this, maybe, because me and Drew grew up playing Black Ops 2 together all the time, like, every day after school. Like, we each go over to my place and we'd fucking play Black Ops 2 all day. I feel like when you have a pick 10 system and you restrict it to certain things, like stuff like that, it makes you play a certain way. Instead of like, here's a gun where you can have a
100%.
suppressor, a quick draw, a stock, extended mags, a bipod, a thermal optic, you're kind of like, there is no real play style anymore. It's just this. Like, it's just this.
Well,
There's
I was
no,
gonna
am I
say,
going to throw on a suppressor and hide myself from the fucking mini map, or am I gonna throw on extended mags because I feel like I want to eliminate the idea of having to reload all the time? You know what I mean, and stuff like that. I feel like there's no more. It doesn't allow a play style, and I want a play style back.
yeah, gunsmith kills that 100% because like BO2, you had AR and SMG players, and you had like snipers. Well, since with the gunsmith system and the variants and stuff, or the what do they call them now? Like you could get
Blueprints.
blueprints. I can get a fucking AR that acts just like a fucking SMG.
Mm-hmm.
I can get an
Oh,
SMG that
you
acts
mean a
just like a fucking assault rifle.
converter kit?
No. Well, yes
No,
and no, but I mean, like, I can build an SMG to act like an AR with the gunsmith system.
But just zero recoil it out, yeah.
Okay, and I can do the same thing with an AR and make it way more,
Close
accessible at
range.
close range, which is cool. But I feel like it doesn't really like Fox was saying, it doesn't add like you don't or you miss out on the skill level of stuff being an SMG player versus a AR player, and then how you have to play. Because it's like nowadays, I mean, you can run a sniper and be extremely fucking fast and just go around, do whatever you want. But back in the day, you used to fucking slug around with your DSR 50 and hit clips.
I mean,
mm-hmm.
it depends on what pick 10 system you're going for at that point, because Advanced Warfare did the pick 10 where if you wanted to max out your gun, you had to get Gunfighter 1, 2, and 3, and it cost all 10 of your slots to get like full attachments on a weapon.
See, but
It was
that's
like that. It
fine.
was
You
like that
can,
in Black Ops 2 as well. We had
Yeah,
that
but
in
you
Black
could,
Ops 2.
okay, I thought it only allowed you to get
No,
2 attachments
because it was like
maximum.
primary. It was like primary gunfighter and primary gunfighter 2 or something like that.
yeah,
See,
I
did it go to
think
3? Could you get 3 attachments?
I know you
No,
could.
I don't think you
I know
could.
you could in Black Ops 3. I know for a fact that.
That's
I'm
what
Yeah,
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that
that's
was a
what I'm
thing in
saying.
Black Ops
Advanced
3.
Warfare is the first one that did it.
Maybe, but
Where
I
you
remember.
had
I remember
See,
having
but I
an
don't.
extra, like having the ability to add an extra attachment, subbing obviously one of your perk cards. You know what I mean? But see, that's the thing. It gave you the choice. Like, am
Yeah, I
I
was
gonna
gonna
add
say.
extra attachments, or am I gonna throw on something else that gives me extra equipment? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they tried
if
to
you
even.
want
Go ahead.
if you want your gun to be loaded, you are going to be seen on the minimap. You're going to be caught by every score streak. Like that's the choice you have to make. Is it's like, okay, I want this loaded gun, or I want ninja. I want what was it in fucking Dead Silence and
Black
what do
Ops
we always
3.
run in
Ghost.
ranked?
Ghost.
Blast suppression.
Yeah, whatever
Oh, you're
allowed your
talking about for the
boost.
EXO, yeah.
Yeah, whatever allowed your
Yeah.
boost to be like quiet.
So if you load up your fucking gun, you could have a solid gun in BO3, but everybody's gonna hear your jetpack. Everybody's gonna hear your fucking footsteps. Like there was that trade off, which I feel like you
Yeah.
don't get now. I feel like you can have a class with fucking almost 17, 18 items in it, and I feel like that's just somebody's back got to be hurting by now. God
It's
damn.
it's too much. It's too much. That's okay for
Yeah, it's way too
Warzone.
much.
That's the thing. Like when they like some things. I know we're on such a rant here, but I love it. I do like it. I think there needs to be a point in time where they separate Warzone from the actual game itself. Warzone needs to be its own downloadable thing. You're not required to, you know, have, like it's its own thing and it's separated from the story, it's separated from the gameplay, it's separated from the mastery camo, whatever it might be, it is its own thing. It needs to be its own thing. That is the most, and that's what was it? Was it Blackout? Black or not? Yeah, Blackout did it right. Can I just say that? I love Blackout. I didn't play it much. I sucked at it because it was like, that was when Battle Royale started kicking off. But Blackout did it right in Black Ops 4. They had it to
Yeah.
where in multiplayer, obviously they had specialists, right? So you had to choose which character you wanted. But then when you got to Blackout, that's where you could be whatever you want to be. You could be Ruin in Black Ops 4. You could be Woods. You could be Menendez. You could be, this was that sandbox area. Like multiplayer was that strict gameplay you feel, you had to make a choice of how you want to play, what kind of player are you, and then Blackout was meant for that sandboxy, be whatever you want to be, play however you want to play, you know what I mean, type feel. And that's what Warzone needs to be. They really just need to take Warzone and just shove it aside, away from zombies, away from multiplayer, away from campaign. Because the whole game, like they want this core gameplay loop. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think everything being the same is a good idea. Can we argue that? I don't think this is an argument. A lot of people loved zombies because it was so different from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It set you apart from multiplayer people, from campaign guys. Like, not everybody who played Call of Duty back in the day played zombies, and that was okay. It separated the modes and made things different, and we just don't have that anymore because everything feels the same.
So whenever we're talking about going back to the older games,
Oh, yeah, you didn't answer.
specifically DLC wise, 100%. I mean, I think that would make it where your product has to be up to snuff. Because if I hear a bunch of dudes say that this next DLC is dog shit, I'll just wait on the next one. I'm more than happy to play the last Zombies map a couple times if I know this next one's not worth a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna spend 5, 10, 15 bucks on a DLC that I've heard nothing but terrible reviews about. And I think that's what the last trailer actually showed us, is that a bunch of people will cancel their pre-orders and shit on you because if it don't look like it's worth playing, I'll just wait on the next one. You're gonna keep making them back to back, so what the hell am I in a rush for?
Exactly. Like you're always gonna make a COD. Like, I think, and with that, Drew, I know we've talked about this before, and it ties in specifically to zombies and multiplayer, obviously. But when we had those $15 DLC, don't get me wrong, free DLC is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I think that's cool. But it gives them like no room to like want to make it good because it's like you said, Drew. It's free. They're just gonna make another one. They're not making any profit off this, so why do they have to try to make it a great DLC? Right? Where are like for example, do you think a lot of people bought Die Rise when it came out? No, because they saw how fucking shitty Transit was, and I'm sure people playing it left a bad review, so no one's buying it. Right? So that made them be like, all right, we gotta step up our fucking next game or our next DLC. Make
The
us
motherfuckers got fired for that shit.
I'd rather pay a $15 DLC for 4 multiplayer maps that I love, or even just one zombie maps that I love, that I thought was awesome, than get a bunch of free ones. And also, with the free DLCs mean additional content that you have to download. You have to download this DLC. You have to have these maps. When, I wouldn't mind not downloading a DLC because I don't fucking like the multiplayer maps. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Like,
Yeah, it's just an ever expanding pile of shit I might not want.
exactly. Give us, if the product's good, I'm going to buy it. Because granted, I guarantee you come out with most maps they've come out with the last few years and still make it a $15 DLC. Not a lot of people are going to buy it. It gives them the excuse to not make a good product.
Well,
Make
money is
me,
one of the few ways you can like tell the very top of a company you're unsatisfied. Because
And
no matter like what kind of outcry you have, if I stop buying your shit, they're gonna notice. Because at some point, the top is gonna be like, "There's a lot less money in my pocket. Now that's a problem."
you know what showed with that was Zombie Chronicles. The number one bought. Oh, I think I don't know. I forget the statistic specifically, but I know it's up there as one of the most bought DLCs in Call of Duty, probably, if not on Steam for a very long time. Like it is one of the most bought DLCs because that was cool. It was cool. It was cool DLC. It was worth it. Like what, $30, right? Am I wrong? Or whatever,
I
however much it
couldn't
costed
tell
back
you.
in the day. Like
$30
like
for what?
Chronicles. I forget how much Chronicles cost.
Chronicles was 30. Yeah, it was 29.99.
And you got like what is it? Origins,
8 maps.
Moon, Shang, Ascension, Kino, and then the 4 original, right?
Oh, more than 8.
Yeah, 9 or 10, 9, 10.
9.
But
And they're all bangers.
they are because those are good maps. That's a good DLC. I'm gonna buy that.
Hey, did Drew just call the Origins a good map?
He said bangers, so yeah, you might be calling.
Compared to what the fuck I was spoon fed for the last couple of years, yeah, bro. I'm on a very dissatisfied streak. I've made it very clear that BO3 is where I marked the beginning of the downfall. Origins tied it off in a fun way, where I can say everything was pretty over with. I took Buried as the ending, and Origins as like an after credit cutscene. You know what I mean? I just took it as like a fun little slap on the ass for on the way out. Um, but yeah, nah, like it just got really shitty after that. I can't really fuck
Yeah.
with it.
But
I
yeah,
don't know. I feel like they need to listen to the community a little more, but at the same time, I don't want to give the community that like I hate to say it because I'm part of the community, but I hate to give the community
too
um
much freedom.
like I don't want to say too much freedom, but the ability to control like what like let's say I'm Activision, I don't want to give because it's almost like yeah, like somebody gives you like lends you money. The next time you need money lent to you, you're gonna go to that person, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, he did it last time. So as a community, like I've talked about this before of how IW got a bunch of hate because the community was like, we want futuristic. We got AW, it was like, and then got BO3, and it was like, okay, BO3 was super fun, but halfway through, we're kind of done with jetpacks. Like, can we get boots on the ground? And then IW is like,
Well, this is
guys,
awkward.
yeah. So
Not cool like
funny story, funny story.
that.
And so, but I feel like they do need to listen to the community a little more. Um, but
And
I mean,
the
you
answer's right in
see,
front of them.
but yeah, but you see Steam reviews. Like, and this is an awful example, but I'm gonna try and tie it together. But you see Steam reviews and just dog in a game, blah, 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 and then you look at the play hours of this player has played 9 hours of this game. You're not gonna get the full feel of a game in 9 hours. I'm sorry, I'll tell you that now.
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie though. If I play 9 hour year games and I feel like it's shit, I'm probably not gonna like it in 30.
Don't know.
Yeah,
Don't
but
know
why
until you get to
suffer?
30.
Why do an extra 20? You can't tell me you will watch 30 hours of a show if you're not fucking with the first
Watching a show is
9.
different.
It's
Watching
the
a show
same
is different.
process. It's I have to be enjoying this. If I'm not enjoying this, why continue to do it? Why waste time on something I think isn't fun? That's why if you give
Hey,
me one of the newer maps, like I played Revelations, like 10, 15 minutes, and I was like, fuck this place. Like I don't want to be here. I know what this is going to be like.
Revelation's such a good map, though.
I don't like it, any bit of it. Even when I watch gameplay, I'm not a
All
fan. Like you go
15
inside
minutes
of an
of it, I hated
apothecary.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
like just immediately playing it. I'm
You
just
didn't even
not a
get to
fan.
knock.
No, I didn't. I don't want a remake of Noct if you're just gonna put it here with Gobblegums and Apothekins and all this other bullshit. If you're gonna give me Noct, just give me Noct.
I will say half a knock is torn down because you have to enter the apothecate's mouth. So had to make room for that.
well, in going back, going back to what Dalton was saying, they have the answer right in front of them. I feel like like the overall meaning of that was like what I kind of got from Dalton just a second ago was like you want to appeal to everybody, right? Essentially, like you want to appeal to everybody that plays your game, and you can do that. They have the answers right in front of them, right? That's why there's a ranked mode in Call of Duty. That's why there's Warzone. That's why there's hardcore modes. That's why there's campaigns. That's why there's Warzone. You can appeal to specific players in each mode. You know, if you wanted to sweat your ass off, you go play rank mode. If you want a sandboxy feel, if you don't care about the crossover skins, if you like that freedom of being able to do whatever you want, go play Warzone. Do you want a casual, chill experience where, you just want to have a good time sitting on your couch or wherever you're at? Go play multiplayer. You want to be different and see a new story and experience different gameplay mechanics? Go play fucking zombies. Are you a story-driven guy? Go play campaign. They have the answer right in front of them. They're just trying to mangle everything together, which I don't think works. It's okay to separate communities, while
Well, you get more
also,
money.
yeah, I know.
If I can make you
that's
go
their
in to
whole
play
thing is money.
zombies, you now got to get gobblegums, bro. If
Yeah,
I have you from zombies and I get you a multiplayer, you now might buy skins.
and that's the overall. That's what it all boils down to at the end of the day with gaming is money. Activision wants their money. They're gonna get it.
So
They're.
what I'm hearing is we're just mad that we don't have a zombies battle pass.
I don't want a fucking battle pass. Please no. Please don't do that. Don't say that. 'Cause that's gonna
Strictly for
happen.
zombies.
I don't want a battle pass in general.
Hey,
Take
I'd
that
feel
shit
a
out of
lot
the
better with
game.
myself. I'd feel a lot better with myself spending $10 on a zombies battle pass than a multiplayer battle pass of skins I'm never going to use.
And I agree with that. And that again, that goes into appealing, separating everything,
Yeah,
still, you know
but
what I mean? Like how Black
I
Ops
feel
3,
like
you leveled up separately. Like your level was separate in zombies, and your
I
camos were
really
separate, and
I
your
don't
weapons were
like the
separate.
universal
Me neither.
leveling
Me
system.
neither.
I
Me neither.
honestly don't like it's.
I don't give a
It's
shit about it. Why does it
okay.
matter? Black Ops 2 didn't even have levels.
I
Neither
know,
Black Ops 1 and zombies.
I know,
Neither
but
World at
it's
War. Like, none of that really matters.
it does, I think, in my opinion, because I think, and I'll bring this
So
up.
you can get skins from it. That's what levels are for.
Well, no, like
No,
no. So like with the universal leveling system, everybody came to zombies early on because that was the easiest way to level up your gun, the easiest way to do everything, level up your character, like your player profile, and then they would just leave once they got leveled up. They just go to play
That's
Warzone.
not a problem. I mean, dude, nobody wants to level up their shit. Everybody just wants to have full access to the game
Yeah,
and
that's
play with the guns.
why
The only
I
reason
don't
you do
like
a
that.
leveling system is to force playtime. That's what a leveling system is for. If you really want that really cool gun you see all the YouTubers and shit playing with, then you got to get to level 54. You got to play at least like 10 hours. You got to get to that level if you want to even try that gun before you even know if you like it. And along that line, you might find something you really like. Now we got you. You're now in. That's the whole point of leveling system. Is that way I can keep you here until hopefully I get you to play something you really like, and now you keep giving me playtime and money. That's the whole
well,
point of leveling system.
I'll agree and disagree at the same time because if the game's bad, it doesn't matter how bad I want that gun. I'm not going to play it.
Okay, but people say that, but you played every Call of Duty until now. Even if you really hate that Call of Duty, people play it for skins. Just to be
I
like,
have
well, I got
not
this skin.
played
Same shit.
a COD. What was last year's COD?
MW2.
MW3, 3.
Or was it 3? Yeah.
It was supposed to
I
be
didn't play
2,
that
but they
one.
made it a separate game, like fucking dumb.
But to say I didn't play that one. I didn't play Vanguard. But I don't know. I feel
I'm
like
talking
I feel like the leveling system is more well. It's like if let's just say you do enjoy playing the game, okay, and it's not that you're shooting for a goal or anything like that. Leveling system to me is like how much you play. Because I never thought, oh, this kid's a prestige master, he's good. It's always, holy shit, he plays the fucking game a lot, kind of thing. So it's also to kind of acknowledge the players that are loyal to the game as well.
and that's what it's just playtime though. Like that's the only thing you do it for. Like if a dude prestiges, you just do that, you get a small little icon, and now you restart with one perma unlock. And that's it. Like it's not like you get entered into a raffle where you can win something. No, it's just playtime. That's all they want from it. They give you a little nod, and you go, hell yeah, I want to do that again and see what I get next time. Hell yeah, I want to see
It,
what I get next time, and you just keep doing it.
I mean, but it brings replayability to the game because if you have a game where you have no goals, game's not gonna last. Doesn't matter if it's fun or not.
I don't think that's true.
I think
I
I
think you
do.
can.
I
I think
think
you
it
can
is.
play
100%.
plenty of games.
And well, see, and at the end of the day, though, let's just be honest, it just depends on the player. Some people need that. Some people love a leveling system. Some people like the ability to unlock stuff and constantly level. Some people, like Drew, just want to play the game. They don't need stuff like that. It just boils down to the player. And I'm not saying that like I like a leveling system. I could care less if zombies had a leveling system. I don't mind. I think Black Ops 3 did it right. I think if they were to do a leveling system, that's how they do it, where it's separate and all you do is get a couple attachments for your weapons you can put on weapon kits. You get up to level 35 in prestige and the prestige, and you really don't really get anything out of it besides just the leveling. So like it just
Cool.
depends on
So
the
why is
player.
Universal a problem?
Because for me it's a problem. I don't like it because then people are coming into the mode just to play it for a few minutes and then leave, and it's
What do you? You
I
can't be
don't.
territorial about a game mode.
I'm not
It's
saying
just play
that,
it how
but
you want.
it's not that. It's like okay. So a while ago, there was something that came out where Kevin Drew or whoever it was said that like he told people who came out to play Black Ops 7 that Liberty Falls was the most played zombies map of all time. And I don't know how the fuck. I don't know why I don't know why he was saying that. If he was like trying to brag or whatever the case may be. But I took that as in like, well, yeah, it should be because people are coming to play that map to level up and then they're leaving. Like they don't care about the fucking mode. They don't care about the game. They just want to use it as a means to level up and then leave. Of course, the map's going to be the most played because it is the only map out of that game that you can sit down and grind without having to unlock Pack-a-Punch, turn on power, even though it's only really on Terminus and stuff like that. It should be the most played map of all time. If you go back in Black
But
Ops
that's a
2,
good thing.
yeah, mm,
That's
I
more
don't.
exposure for zombies. That's more people that have the chance to get a look at the game mode and might say, "I really want to do this. I
I
want to
don't.
play this more." That's a good thing for the community.
To a certain extent, in my opinion, I don't like it.
No, that's just outright. The more people you have in a community, at least that are good, the more good people. I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt that whoever would join the zombies community this deep as we are, like lore wise and shit, they're not going to be like some crazy ass dude for the most part. I'm going to give that basic amount. The more people you have to look at something, the more chance you have for people to join that. And just the bigger community, the better shit gets. Because then that'll just keep climbing into what we started now. Like the zombies community started with very few people, and then they made one map. That was exposure. They got those first few. And then they made a second map just to see. More people got to look at that. Just build off of that. So I think that's a great thing.
So
Mm.
what I'll say, I guess it's not so much the universal level system of like player level, but I feel like to use something in a game mode like multiplayer, like I don't feel like you should be able to go level up your guns and zombies to use them in multiplayer. If you grind zombies and you grind zombies for 12 hours or whatever it is and you use all these guns, then all those attachments become available in zombies. So you can't hop back and forth. Like you have to play multiplayer to unlock multiplayer attachments to progress further into multiplayer and get better kind of thing.
Yeah, but who are you gatekeeping those attachments from? Just people that wanted to play zombies first? Like why have the extra time play? Like I'll still put that amount of time into Call of Duty. I've still used that weapon for that amount of time. It's not like I'm foregoing the process of still earning that in one way or another. Like if I did Call of Duty back in the day with zombies, I couldn't put attachments on my weapon. I couldn't unlock all this thing. There was no purpose for me to unlock it in zombies. Now there is, and why wouldn't I be able to use that there and then go and use it there? Because now you're just going, we'll earn it a second time. Why? I just earned it. I just did that amount of effort. You dictated that was the same as earning these levels. That's the same amount of effort. I should have what I've already earned.
I mean but that goes in my opinion, I think that goes into replayability. It gives you a reason to play, and gives you the reason to grind that specific game
Yeah, but
mode.
who says I wouldn't want to play? I get very frustrated if I do a bunch of shit and then I lose all that progress for literally no reason. Like if I did all this work and then I found a favorite gun and then I go to multiplayer to use that gun and it's like, yeah, you got to do another 10 hours to try that again, buddy. See if you actually like it in a multiplayer setting because these are actually different stats compared to zombies now. This isn't the exact same weapon.
But it
So
should
like,
be different
why do that?
stats because they're different game modes.
And I understand that, but why make me do all the double effort when I could just pick it up and go, oh, I actually don't like this in multiplayer? Why make me wait 10 hours to go, I don't like this gun? I already earned it. I can still play with it over here, and I can play with something else over here because I still have all my options available. I don't have to do another 10 hours just to have the same options I now have in zombies. That makes me not want to play the other game option. Like if you had zombies where I started with a single weapon every time, that's fine. Don't give me the weapon progression, don't give me levels for it. Perfectly fine. But if I'm able to earn all those things and then put them together in a class already and know I like that, why take it from me? That'd be like if I went and played multiplayer and then I went to Warzone and Warzone was like, sorry, bud, you got to do another 10 hours, bro, if you want to try this game mode with that gun. Sorry to do that. That's 30 hours for one weapon that I might not like.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? Like that's an
mm,
excess.
I
When
don't
you
I
mind.
go for
I don't mind.
I,
if you
I
go
was
for
gonna say
replayability, just make the game fun.
agree to disagree. That's what I'll say to that because like I understand where you're coming from and it makes sense. Um, but I feel like there has like I understand that you're the type of player like you don't necessarily need goals, but there has to be something to play for me at least
You can
personally
still have
because
goals. It doesn't have to be the level. How many of you play a game just to level up? Bro, that's
I
not
do.
your goal.
I do.
No, that's not your goal. No, no, it's not. You want something from that level up. You
Yeah,
want an
that's
item or
but
a
but
thing.
you could say that's
No, it's not to
that's the
level up.
reason.
It
That's the reason.
no, you go for camos. Camos is more reasonable. Camos you have a certain defined objective, headshots or critical kills, however you want to exclaim it, zombie or specialist zombie skills or long shots, like defined thing. Like there's plenty of things to do other than hey, do you want to put X amount of hours into this game and get this thing in particular? Like, sure, maybe, but that also makes it really stupid because now I don't feel like it's as fun. It's now just, do you want to spend X amount of time? We feel it deserves X amount of time. Like, sure, but how about I can earn that in a certain amount of way that would be faster or slower depending on skill, luck, stuff like that. Instead, it's literally just, hey, bro, you could just throw on a double XP weekend and bust all the fucking levels out. People have ran all the way to max prestige, max level in like fucking what 4 or 5 days in the earlier games. Like I don't think that's a you can't call that a long-standing replayability thing. If it's replayable, like I stay on the first prestige most of the time. I might go like the third. They gave the STG for a skin. I'll prestige for that. I find that item. Not I don't care about the levels. I want that item at the end of those levels. The actual leveling system. I don't feel like almost anybody doesn't see that as like a main goal. It's usually something at that level.
so what you're saying is like if okay, so let's say camo not even camo wise. Let's say you get a reward for getting X amount of kills with the STG. Because I know you love the STG. You would
Yep.
rather something like that instead of a level system where it's like more challenges instead of a gun or instead of a like a level.
Yeah, I think that's more of a if you want to go replayability wise, that's something more people would consider replayable because that gives me a defining thing that I can work on rather than just keep playing the game. Like, bro, you that's a timer pretty much. If I want to prestige every time I get the ability to, it's just a timer.
Well, I
That
mean,
doesn't do anything really. It just relocks my weapon. I re-unlock all of them. It relocks my weapon. I re-unlock all of them.
And at the
well,
end
I
of
was
the
gonna
day,
say
and
now
it's-
though it's a little different. I mean, you get stuff when you prestige.
But that's what I'm saying.
You
It's the item. It's not the level. No one cares about the number next to their thing. No one's ever like, oh, dude, I'm level 13. Nah, like you want a thing. Like if I make it to level 5, I'm like, I can create a class now.
okay?
I'm
So
level 5. You know what I
I was about
mean?
to
Like
say
it's the
we're
thing.
we're agreeing on the same thing, but I think it should not think it should be a level system. Like I don't mind the leveling system. You think it should just be like challenges or something like that, like
When
something.
y'all initially said that the universal leveling system, y'all didn't like it. And I was like, why? There's really no problem to it for me. I think that's not like an issue at all in zombies. I think when you get to issues, it would be uh, how they're doing certain game modes, like how y'all were talking about earlier, how they're splitting too much attention to the other two. But when it comes to like the universal leveling system, I think that's perfectly fine. I think that was actually one of their good things they did recently.
I feel like whatever, like not to separate the game modes, but I mean like I feel like every game mode should be different. Like I don't feel like playing campaign and getting a gun leveled up. I can hop right into multiplayer and have that gun fully maxed out.
It's going to be different stats though. That's still a completely different weapon now.
Yeah, but I mean like the like I like the grind, I guess. Like cuz I don't feel like not to say you should have to do it 3 times or whatever, but like whatever you play, that's what you're going to do, you know what I mean? Like you look at it like, oh, I like this gun and zombies, but I don't want to play another 10 hours with this gun in multiplayer. That doesn't sound like a leveling issue to me. That sounds like you're worried that the game isn't fun, because if the game was fun, you'd have no problem hopping into another mode and leveling your shit up.
No, it's I don't want to have to put all this time into something that I already have over here. I don't see the purpose in that.
See, and
That'd be
that's where it just dives into different people, like different play styles. That's and there's no real way to appeal that. Like you can't have universal and not universal. Like there is no you can control universal. You can control universal. You can just go play zombies all day if you want. If you just prefer to play zombies, you can play multiplayer all you want to play multiplayer. That just dies down to play like because I know Drew. I've known Drew for years. I know what you think. I know how you are. I don't see you going any other direction. That's why like there's a reason why you like that because you're very simplistic and you want very cut dry. You don't want to have to go back and do all that work again. But some people, you know, like myself, I don't mind it. I like leveling up. Like I was playing Black Ops 4 and Infinite Warfare just so I can level up. I don't mind it. It's having fun. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but then you can
granted,
just prestige.
Yeah, well, I feel like
that's well, yeah.
if you don't have the prestige, if you don't have the leveling system, like you get the challenges. What happens if you get everything you want in that game? There's nothing else to play for. There's nothing else to shoot for. The game is going to get cut and dry fairly
Well, then, like
quickly.
you said, then you're worried about the game not being fun. I'm not. I'm playing the game with full access. I'm having fun. If you're worried about you have to have a goal to have fun, then the game wasn't fun.
Yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, though, like the game can be fun and it can add that extra bit of playability. You know, it can add a little bit more to
Correct.
that.
I mean,
Because
that's
like
You
a
what
know,
game can
DLCs are
be
for.
fun, but like, I mean, but like weird comparison. But you have a game like Repo. I know Drew may have never played Repo, but Repo, that's a fun game. It doesn't have much replayability, even with mods. And it's pretty like bare bones of what you do. You don't have like goals. It's just like how far you can get. But how long did the repo hype last? I feel like if you don't have those extra things in a game now, our minds are so like we got goldfish brains or squirrel brains now. Like, and I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like a majority of people have like squirrel brains where, you know, you'll watch a video that's 3 seconds over a video that's 3 minutes long because you're constantly looking for change. You're constantly looking for something. Where when we get a bare bones game that's super fun, like playing it is fun. Everything about it is fun, but you don't have the goals. You don't have anything else. It just dies out because it's the same thing. There's nothing to keep playing for, even though it's super, 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 super fun. Because I've like cried pissing myself laughing with that game.
I mean, that's more of the community you play with. It has nothing to do with the game as much. I mean, the game definitely was like the medium for that, but it was the people you played with. If you'd have played Repo by yourself, you wouldn't have had nearly as much fun. And that's all that is. It's if a game can't hold it, like playing World at War through Black Ops 2 Zombies. It had no like idea for like a constant replayability. There wasn't a leveling system. There wasn't camos. There weren't challenges. There weren't Easter eggs for the most part, up until Black Ops 1, obviously. Like World at War specifically for that. There weren't a lot of Easter eggs compared to what we have now, where you can do like 80 mini Easter eggs and get like fully set up for free. Um, like there wasn't any of that shit, and people played those games to fucking death, and they still play them to this day. You want to know why? The game's just fun. It had nothing to do with like all these extra things. It was just you had enough fun playing the game where you were doing things because you enjoyed doing it. Like I don't have to have um an excess amount of things to do in order for me to go, I'm satisfied with this product. Like you gave me $60 or $80 worth of game and just my zombies back in the day, where I was completely satisfied with that. I love playing multiplayer, don't get me wrong, but that's all icing on the cake at that point.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna kind of bring this back full circle to zombies. Zombies doesn't need anything more than a good story, a good map, good weapons, and some good friends. That's all you need.
yes, that is
Even
true.
if
I
you
agree
don't
with you.
have even if you don't have the friends and you have all those other aspects, you can have a great time by yourself on one map for hours. I played fucking Town so much when I was little. Knocked, same thing, and there's even less on Knock to do. Like, it has nothing to do with all the goals. That wasn't what got everything to where it's at, as much as it was you had to have something worth playing. Not like a thing to do while playing it, but you had to have the actual essentials for it. Like gameplay a little bit, but it was more of aesthetic and a little bit of like tinkering with shit. Like, sure, this is still World at War, but you want to pick up fucking Juggernaut real quick and have a bunch of health? Like, you can mess with the system in very slight ways that weren't like ridiculous. Like, I can't now fly and like shoot lasers out of my eyes. It's a small tweak, but it was so impactful, completely changed the game. I think that's your like essential necessity in Call of Duty nowadays. It's taking it down to where I want to change that minor feature and make it something that everybody will enjoy instead of giving everybody 30 different features and you can now pick which one you like best.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I agree with you. Like zombies strobe without having all that additional stuff, leveling system. It's just that's just how the game's gonna progress throughout the years. There's always gonna be something new adding to the game. That's why they're adding mastery camos to campaign now. You know, the modes are gonna evolve, and at the end of the day, yes, like pretty much like Drew said, cycling back to what Dalton asked originally was like, yes. So we went on a very long rant there, um, which I hope you guys enjoyed. You don't need much. Bare bones is okay. It's all right. You don't need all this extra stuff. My personal opinion. I don't know about the other guys or anybody else out there, but like, I think at the end of the day, bare bones is okay. We don't need anything else. We don't need all this additional stuff. You know, we don't need battle passes. We don't need emotes. We don't need charms, weapon camos. Maybe a little bit of character customization, maybe a little bit. Like, I don't think it's that important. Um, that's all you really need for a good Call of Duty experience. But yeah, no, that was definitely I like that. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
So let's see. To close this off on my last topic, let's get back on the track of zombies real quick. To close out, we're at about an hour and 30 or so in. Um, Are there any, like, because I know there's a lot of fan theories out there, a lot of community theories from zombies from way back in World War to, I don't know if there's many today, but, you know, in the golden ages, really, and stuff like that. What's a fan theory or community theory that you thought was either like, how about this? How about you give me your funniest one, like you thought was funny as hell and like just, was goofy, and maybe a really serious good one, whether it be like the whole Hitler boss fight and War at War, you know what I mean? And Dempsey being Misty's father and all that kind of stuff.
Oof.
I
Tough.
Uh,
say the I'm gonna need a minute to think on that one.
all right.
It's
Well, for funny ones, probably that Richtofen's gay. I'm not even sure if that one's true or not,
very zesty.
but yeah, he's got some zingers in there, even from like the very beginning in Black Ops One that made you question some things for especially for like a complete psychomaniac uh German soldier. I don't know if you can say pointy headed man's name. Um a good old brown shirt, you feel me?
Yeah.
Um for a serious one that I always liked.
And
I mean
maybe one that came true, or maybe one that like it has been confirmed, but like you're still thinking about it. Maybe you know what I mean.
I always stand on the side of Shangri-La being on Mars. I always loved that idea.
Yeah, that was a
And
pretty sick one.
Yeah, especially when they
the
confirmed
further
it in
you get into
tag.
it, yeah, the further you got into it, the more you were like, they even named like the files like Mars Hills or some shit.
Yeah.
So I have one, but it's not even like it's just a question, I suppose.
Okay,
Um,
making your own up. I like it.
the Wolf King,
Mhm.
the pictures, and it
What
shows he
more
got
about
killed
him?
by arrows. Like he has a bunch of arrows in him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was during
wait.
the Great War, right?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Exactly.
That's a good point. The Pothicans weren't using fucking bow and arrow,
Correct.
you know?
I mean, that's not necessarily
Correct.
true. They can't like affect our world, so they could only like use things that were already here. So they would be like influencing people in the area.
Maybe, yeah. They could have. That's true. If only we got a Great War map to have maybe learn more about the Great War. All
I
right.
mean, like the Shadow Man sent like the reporter, and then obviously our characters got sent back by fucking Dr. Monty.
Yeah, who's to say that maybe, with the Wolf King and his men, maybe the men shot some arrows and then who knows, maybe
That's
Hothkins just kind
fucking
of like
really
deflect them
strong
back.
wind.
Just yeah, you see him just get caught in the air and just slowly turn around, and Wolf King's just like, oh god
100% fair. Who's to say Leroy wasn't always the way he is? You feel me?
damn it.
Might have
Maybe
been
he
aiming
got
it backwards.
maybe the Shadow Man gave him a little bit of booze and an arrow and started going crazy.
Yeah, no, that is a great question. Though. I have
That is
no
good.
idea. I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
Like
because you look at him and
what
he's just
happened to
dead.
him?
Yeah,
I mean, like why was he so important? Too. Like he had a wolf.
he had two wolves.
You know what I'm saying though? Like
Let's get
what
that.
what was
Well, I mean, obviously, like you know,
more of his story
Kings.
is
I mean,
really
yeah, I definitely want to learn more about the Wolf King. I think that would be really cool if we learned a little bit more, maybe why he was so important. But obviously, he was in the Battle of the Great War, so that I think that ups his importance. Obviously, like he was there when it happened, and and stuff like that. So I think that
yeah. But
ups
like
his, what?
you hear about Pablo going back. Why not just bring up the fucking Wolf King?
I mean, at
Like
the end of
that's
the
a
day,
dude that
that's
was already canonically there, or Leroy. Instead, you were like, nah, dog. Pablo goes back in time,
yeah.
and
But
he gives him the ancient stone.
I guess it's just whatever they wanted. That's just what they wanted to do. I guess. Trust me, I would love to hear more about the Wolf King. That would be really cool. I think
That's a
that's what they
great
think they
point, though.
should have
I
done with
hadn't thought about that,
Citadel
but
is talk more about the owl. You know what I mean? I think that'd be really cool
Yeah.
too. Dive into like the bastards and not just like, oh yeah, here are their swords. All right, cool. you know. Um, but yeah, all right. That's a good one. That's a good one, Dalton. So Drew, you gave one off. Dalton gave one off. For me, one of my I think because it's not I don't know if you want to call it funny, but obviously back in the day, and just bear with me, people always thought that like Dempsey was Misty's father, which wouldn't add up. That would make no sense because there's no like there's a huge age gap there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wouldn't really line up at all. But I
I
just
don't
found
think
it.
Dempsey has that strong of swimmers.
But I find it funny though that like later on in Black Ops 4 when they brought the Victus crew, that Misty brings up having a Marine father. And the community was like, "What? Wait a minute." Even though I don't think that adds up, but I think they kind
I
of
think
did
it was a
that.
poke though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did that. They're like, "Hey, remember that? It's definitely not true, but what if we just kind of made you think it was true?" I think stuff like that's is hilarious. I think it's
Or
funny.
like I mean it's not really a theory, but like when they put PhD outside of the map in BO2,
Yeah, most and like on two of the maps. Yeah, I think that was
Die Rise and Mob.
especially the most
and
important map to have it on.
Mhm.
and honestly, the I don't know how you would put it. I guess it's technically a theory right now, but the super Easter egg for BO3,
What
how
about
it
it?
just the overall way it's like unfolded. Honestly, I didn't even know that shit was going on until like last year or whatever when that first big video came out where the dude broke down like the KN-44 and hypercubes.
Oh, you mean the impossible Easter egg?
Impossible Easter egg. There we go. My
Yeah,
bad.
okay. I was like superheroes like that's been
Yeah,
there.
I was really confused. I haven't
My
heard
bad.
about this impossible Easter egg.
On God, you haven't.
Dude, you
No.
need to
Yo.
watch the
So,
videos.
whoever that little short tooth, big forehead bastard is, said that he weren't gonna tell nobody for like 8 years, right?
Talking about Jason
He's,
Blundell.
I don't know, man. Whatever that bitch is, he needs to tell me because I'm starting to get irritated.
Yeah, so
Fog.
Jason, he came out and said that like,
Ball.
there's an impossible Easter egg that he left in the game, and for
It's
years
across
now.
multiple quote
Mm,
unquote arenas, so it's either maps or like locations in one map.
Yeah, there's a dude Dalton. If you ever got time, like you gotta watch those videos. People have dove deep because he's confident that no one's gonna figure it out. That's why he calls it the impossible. And he did mention that he's like maybe in 7 8 years I'll reveal. I'll maybe hint at some stuff, but it's been past that. I'm pretty sure, and I don't think he's doing that. He
And
might.
some people thought they had it figured out
Oh yeah.
with like there's this set of books on Der Eisendruck where like if you do a whole bunch of like really decrepit shit and like figure a whole bunch of weird loose connections, there's a dude in like real life history that wrote these books, and a bunch of the titles on them are faded out to say like I am Dr. Monty. Um, and it's to imply like Dr. Monty's been in like history and like that's him. And then in real life history, that dude had a really weird occult friend. So they're taking like the possible connection that that's where the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty came from. They were humans at one point that got like corrupted by the dark ether and then pulled through into like the original conception of shit. And that's what he talks about. Like him used to be like his best friend, and he was like the sweetest, funniest dude that you'd ever meet, and then they corrupted him. Instead of him being like we split or anything, he like kind of acts like the keepers and the apothecans are separate for him and the shadow. So it's a whole like thing.
Yeah, I like that theory a lot. I really do want to see um I want to see more stuff like that. I really hope we solve that fucking shit. Not we, but cause I ain't fucking solving that. You got me fucked up. I mean, but I would love to hopefully see one day that gets solved. I would love that. But
Yeah, just wanted to toss that one out there. I don't know if that's considered a theory or if that's more like
it's
a like Easter egg workup. I'm not sure what that is.
it's an Easter egg workup, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting there. It's not 100% there, but we're trying to figure it out. Kudos to those people, by the way, that are trying to solve that Easter egg. Really, it takes a lot. It's gonna take a lot to figure that shit out. But
If he would even tell us if they figure it out.
that's the thing. We could have, for all we know, we could have that could have been it. Like what you were just talking about. That could have been it. But I don't think it's gonna be some huge grand reward. I was expecting one little cipher with a sheet of paper that says, "Congratulations, you solved this impossible Easter egg. Go fuck yourself, Jason Blundell." I think that'd be fucking.
He said it was nothing in the code, so you're not going to get like a
Yeah, no,
physical
I know, I
reward.
know, I know. But it's
It
still
might be
just
like his personal phone number from back in the day. You could call him. He'll like send you a car or
like
something.
a voice message or something. Yeah, it'd be pretty funny. But anybody got anything else before we close out today? I think
No,
we
that's
pretty much covered
pretty
what we
good.
want to talk about and a lot more. Um,
Yeah,
so
Dalton pulled us down the rabbit hole, and it was fun every step of the way.
it was yep. Oh god, yeah, it was a
I
rabbit
love
hole.
rabbits.
See,
All right, Dalton likes rabbits. It's confirmed. Um. All right. Well. Let me think real quick.
he's
Uh.
gonna burn out. He's about
I
to have a
already got
stroke
it.
in the
Never mind.
fart.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Drew, any closing comments? As we near 100 subs, by the way, we're currently at 73. We're getting close to 100.
I appreciate everything everybody that's watching has been doing so far, and Call of Duty is slowly slipping down into the shithole. And I can't wait to see how far it goes before everybody gives up.
All right, Dalton.
Um, it was a fun episode today. I like taking people down rabbit holes. Wink a wink.
Wink, wink.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess my thing to the community is, I mean, let's stick around. Let's just let's not jump to any conclusions. I hope from the developers we get just not so much teases, but I hope we're not spoon fed a bunch of stuff. I think they have a chance to make Black Ops 7 really good. Um, I hope they don't fuck it up, and I hope that if they don't fuck it up, we're not too hard on it, and have another case like um, IW.
I don't think it'll get to that point, but it's definitely it's
Ah,
definitely close. It's definitely
I
close.
was gonna say it's
It's
like I'm
definitely
not
close.
worried, but like when does Battlefield come out? Do you
October,
know?
like early October.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a battle of the ages. A game that people are raving about because apparently, they think that it's gonna save,
I
the
honestly
Great
hope
Return.
Battlefield. I was gonna say I hope Battlefield put some fire under
They need to.
Treyarch's
They
ass,
need to. It's not really just
and
Treyarch, it's Activision. I mean, as a whole.
yeah,
Like they need
but
to. They really need to. Like you said, they need to poke the bear a little bit. Like, hey, we're
mm-hmm,
we're here,
yeah,
motherfucker. You know what I mean? Let's. You want to start listening to your community because they're gonna start come playing our game.
yep, exactly.
But all right, well, we appreciate everybody who stuck around to the end of this episode. Round 11 is now complete. Be on the lookout for round 12 next week. Actually, as of now, be a couple days because we are uploading 2 episodes in 1 week to make up for round 10 being such a clusterfuck. So be on the lookout for that later on this week. Comment down below any questions you guys might want to ask us if you guys want to weigh in on the topics. And we look forward to hearing from you guys on round 13. So whatever questions you guys ask for round, from this episode will be on round 13, not 12, because I think me and Dalton are going to record 12 today or tomorrow. But yeah, if you guys like the video, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, subscribe if you guys want to keep coming back for more zombies content. Like I said, we're nearing that 100. We're going to do something really cool for 100 subscribers. So please subscribe if you guys like our content and you want to keep coming back. And that's really about it. We'll see you guys next week.